So he wakes up and is like, bro, I knew you were going to do this. I didn't have the fucking money with me. All right, well, you're staying here. Tell your mom to bring the money here or something. Then. Like, you're staying here. My homie comes out of the loft.
How did this happen?
I mean, I don't advertise for sure. You know what I'm saying?
This is the stuff people want to know, dude.
Yeah, dude, my bad. I'll make it my profile picture next time.
There you go.
Dude, yeah. Make it the advertising clip for this.
Holy.
Nubtastic, dog.
So how did it happen again?
I was riding a four-wheeler. I was like 12. I was leaving this girl's house I was dating, and my chain came off, and I went to put it back on and left the four-wheeler running because it never, I don't know, I was 12, wasn't really thinking. And it like idled up while I had my hands in the chain, and so my finger went through the tensioner, and it was just like, phoop, and I felt like a little pinch. I was like, ow, shit, like that pinched the shit. I figured my nail would be purple or something. And so I got back on the four-wheeler, started riding. About a half a mile down the street, I started feeling my finger like pulse with my heart, like both my fingers. It was just like beating, and I was like, what is going on? I took off these big wool gloves, and my fingertips came with the gloves, bro. Yo. It was literally just bone. And I was like, I freaked out. My first words were, Mom!
Really?
Yeah, she was nowhere nearby, but I was by myself.
Yeah.
I was terrified. But I went back to the girl's house and held my fingers under the sink because it kept it from hurting. Called 911 first, then called my mom, and 911 was like a quarter mile away, like the rescue squad.
Right.
My mom was 15 miles away. She got there first. Like, mom was
bet.
whipping. Yeah, dude, she was getting
Teleported there.
She got there about passed out when she walked. I was like, Mom, don't freak out. I cut my fingers off. She was like, let me see. And I showed her, and like you could see her eyes like kind of roll. I was like, man, it was fucked up. It didn't even hurt that bad. What hurt the most was when they numbed it. They stuck like that. Oh, my God. I broke my mom's finger, because, they tell you, like, hold your mom's hand when you're younger.
Yeah.
And I was holding her hand, and they stuck that thing in, dude. And by the time it hit up here in my wrist, I was squeezing her so hard, and I heard her. She was like, fuck.
Right.
I'm like, what's wrong with her? Her finger's over there and, like, literally, like, crooked from me squeezing it so hard, dude.
Dude, I remember being a kid. I was probably in, like, I don't know, 3rd, 4th grade, I'm going to guess. Second grade, somewhere around really young. And my dad, we were at a graduation party for my cousin, and my dad told me to go get him a beer.
Yeah.
And so I go run and get him a beer, and my dumbass is running down the sidewalk with a glass bottle of beer.
Oh,
fucking, or a glass,
yeah.
Drop, trip, fall, it breaks. I land on it with my leg, fucking scoops this huge piece out of my leg. And so, bro, I'm sitting there and, like, pouring blood. But the one thing, like, to me, it feels like the bigger the cut, the less it hurts. Like, eat a little paper cut, that motherfucker fucking
burns.
Up,
yeah, dude.
So this, and like, but I was freaking the fuck out over all the blood, and I just remember my dad scooping me up, and like I didn't know what to do, and he's like, just squeeze my hand, but I'm just like sitting there with both hands trying to squeeze. But I remember getting to the hospital, bro, and them numbing that shit.
Dude.
Where I was like, no more. They're like, we just have one more, and it was 27 more, but that shit was not fun.
Gnarly. Even with my shoulder when they cleaned it. Like, just them cleaning it, I was grown when this happened, but my bone was, like, out my back, and they were, like, cleaning it with a little water thing that drips water on it. It literally felt like somebody was just in there with, like, a wire brush, just, like, going in and out.
Right.
Not fun, dude.
Well, brother, you and I got connected recently. I had no idea that you were fucking living in the same city as me.
Yeah,
so
man.
I find out about you on social media, start peeping some of your shit. Was blown away. You're a fucking beast on the mic. I'm a hip hop head from way back. So as soon as I saw that, and then I think I hit you up. Yeah. We started chatting a little bit, and then you were like, I'm in Austin, and I was like, yo, what are we doing? Like, did not even know that. So, bro, obviously rapper, entertainer extraordinaire. Got a couple big songs out here, fucking paving your way. I fucking love it.
Working on it.
But dude, where did it all start for you, man?
Music wise.
Music, life, addiction. Just give us a quick overview. Let people know where you came from.
I started in like 2nd grade. I got an assignment to write a poem and came back with like, everybody had like their paragraph. Mine was 2 pages. It was like the front, the back. Yeah, I still remember it. It was like about skipping school and dipping in the pool. Like I remember that line in it. I was in like 2nd grade, and then I was in juvenile youth centers all throughout my childhood. So like when I was in there,
originally from
Maryland. Yeah, originally from Maryland. So I was in those juvenile centers all throughout my life, and in there I was usually the youngest and usually the only, if not one of few white kids. which to me never really made a difference. But like you could feel the difference being me, if that makes sense. Yeah, it just was my outlet, man. Like I didn't feel like I had friends in there. I fought all the time. I got beat up or beat. It went both ways. Yeah, that was like my saving grace, dude. Indeed.
Was the rapping?
Yeah, the music, 100%. Yeah, the drugs definitely were not my saving grace.
No,
they started later in life.
So at what point did drugs come in?
I was about 17 when I tried my first pill.
Right.
Yeah.
And then what was your DOC? What was your main shit?
Fentanyl and cocaine, usually in the form of crack. But I mean, whatever. Whatever. The only thing I really wouldn't do was like meth.
Gotcha.
Just because I felt like I'd like be one of those way too crazy people. My brain's already all fucked up. Right. You know what I mean?
It's fun, dude. It's funny how we drug addicts draw a line where it's like, I'll do everything, but I'm not doing that one.
Bro.
As long as I don't smoke crack, I'm good.
Yeah.
But I never had that. The only drugs I didn't do are just ones that weren't around.
Drug addiction is kind of like a football field if you think about it. You start in one end zone, and there's like lines that you say you'll never cross. Like, I'll never shoot up. I'll never do this. I'll never do that. And each line gets you closer to like the death of an end zone on the other end of the field.
That's a good way to break it down.
It's just like you. When I set out on addiction, it was like at first I was snorting pills and I was like, I'll never shoot them. I'll never smoke them. Then I was smoking them. I was like, I'll never shoot them. Then I was shooting them. I was like, I'll never do heroin. Then I did heroin. I was like, I'll never do fentanyl. Then I did fentanyl. I'll never smoke crack. Then I smoked crack.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right. I never had that, but my thing was at least I've never been arrested.
Oh,
whenever anybody said anything, I've never been locked up. Then I started getting locked up, and then there was no more of that.
Yeah, I was getting locked up before drugs. So I think, honestly, if anything, it played a part in helping me go that route, down the wrong roads. There was never really a juvenile facility I went to that was like, damn, that was helpful.
Right.
But yeah, man.
So if you could, man, if you just to paint a picture for anybody listening, like at your worst times, man, if you could show people what did it look like, taste like, smell like, what did your, I don't want to say your rock bottom, but like if you have a couple stories that stand out to you that kind of give people a perspective on what your addiction looked like.
Yeah, man. You said smell like, and instantly the smell that came to mind was like burnt rubber and fucking and like musty clothes, dude. Just because, I'd sit in my room and like smoke crack and smoke cigarettes and do dope, and then like all my clothes were in my closet, so like the smoke would just sit in my room, and it was terrible. But yeah, I think some of the worst parts of addiction definitely had to do with like kicking doors, robbing trap houses, dude. That was I was like a suburban kid, didn't really belong in that lifestyle, you know what I mean? But I went towards it, and it was like, now I have something to prove because I'm the suburban kid, these are the hood dudes, so I think, oh man, you want a little story?
Please.
I'll give you one.
Paint a picture for the people.
Yeah, so this is what made me get clean. This is the situation that made me get clean. Super hectic, and I try to only speak on bits and pieces because anyway. So I went to the city one day to rob somebody, rob like a certain trap house that we had found that they kept their stash in like the back of the house on the outside. So you'd like have to come out of the house, go to the backside, and like reach into this hole where these bricks were missing, and that's where the stash was at. So like we found this, but there was no way to get behind the house without going through the house, if that makes sense. Like there was a metal gate, locked up alleyway, usually cars in front of it. So we went in the front door. There was 2 people in the house. Did the typical robbing thing. Nobody moved, and so we found what we wanted, and we left. The people that were in the house tied, like they were, what's the word? I'm not able to move at the moment.
Right.
We run out with everything. As I'm running out, I hear doom. I look over and I see in front of this convenience store, there's a lady pushing a stroller, and I see this lady fall, and I'm like, and I hear doom, and I just see like the stroller move a little bit, and I'm like, what the fuck? Like at this point, my mind is like, in my mind, they just got shot. You know what I'm saying? And then I hear more of it, boom, 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 right through his neck. The homie that I was with, right through his neck. Literally, it was like slow motion. It was like you could see. Have you ever seen like if somebody whips through the water real fast, how it just is like, whoosh,
yeah,
literally what it looked like.
Wow.
Shit went straight through him, dropped. I'm instantly like, got to get the fuck out of here. Like, I'm traumatized almost instantaneously, totally out of the loop. It was almost like I had a concussion. Everything went silent. I didn't hear anything. I heard ringing in my ears. Like, it was hectic. Saw him drop, got in the car, went to leave, and then realized, like, what if he's not dead? Right? So I'm, like, looking, kind of stopping, looking, hearing. I can't hear the shots, but I can hear my car going doo 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 doo. Like I can hear like somebody's knocking on my car. So I look, and I think at this point he's done. So I leave. I get rid of the dope. I get rid of the shit that I had stolen, money, dope. And I literally called one of my friends. His name was Los, and I was like, bro, I'm about to kill myself, or I need help. Like one of the two, I need help. He was like, all right, let me see what I can do. So I'm driving home. Get home, he calls me back, and this was the point where I was like, I'm done. Like, I can't do anymore. And I think I had told you this previously when we met up, but my first experience with recovery was like, Los called somebody he knew in recovery. They came to get me. They took me to Waldorf. That person took me halfway to Jersey, or met somebody in Waldorf. That person took me to Jersey, met somebody in Jersey. That person took me to detox. Never met any of these people. So it ended up being a good experience, but the whole thing was crazy. And where it gets really hectic is when I was about 8 months clean. One of the heaviest moments of my life is that dude that I watched get hit in the neck called me, bro. I literally thought he was dead. Called me. I'm getting goosebumps right now. Called me and said, like I don't mean to like imitate his voice. Like I'm not trying to make fun of anything, but he was like my Avenue called me. He couldn't talk. Like it didn't sound right, and bro, I just broke down. I was like, dude, I thought you were fucking gone. I thought you were dead. Literally thought you were dead.
Wow.
And man, I've kept in touch with him. He's unfortunately in a nursing home and can't really, do too much. Prayers for him, dude. Right. I love that dude to death, but yeah, dude, I had lost my way totally and was just like I got a rush and a kick out of like making people feel fear, if that makes sense. Like when I kicked the door in. I was excited. Like I wasn't like, oh, what if I die? Yeah. It was like I could have 2 bullets in a revolver, and I'm like, fuck it. Like whatever happens. Right. Like I need what I want. And yeah, man, I think that was probably one of the wildest moments and life-changing moments, because it was just like now other people are getting hurt. Mind you, the people that I saw that I thought got hit did get hit in front of the store, and I found that out later, and it was just like it instantly changed my whole life. It made me, instead of now looking at myself and what I need, I'm now realizing that I'm affecting other people with my actions in ways that are unchangeable, Right. So it was a huge turning point, man, but also a wild one,
Right. Dude, that's wild. Didn't thank God you made it out.
Man, yeah, there's a lot of stories like that where I'm just like, I don't even understand how I made it out of that.
Right. I never got down with the robbing shit, but I was up in New York visiting my dad one time and hanging out with people I shouldn't have been.
Yeah.
And I just want to get fucked up. And next thing I know, the dude I'm with, he was a dealer, but he didn't have anything at that time, but he was about to try to come up. And so out of nowhere, he's like, yo, dude's coming over. We're going to fucking rob his shit. Fucking, he's the plug, da-da-da. And I wanted to get high, so I'm like, all right, bet, let's fucking do this, right? And so it's a duplex. There's a downstairs and an upstairs, and then up north, I know in Texas they don't have them, but up north every place usually has basements, attics, shit like that.
Yeah, Maryland had them too. Yeah.
So this duplex, when you'd walk out the front door, there was steps to go up to the attic. So I stood in the steps to the attic with the door closed, so he wouldn't know that I was there. And then when he was going to come in, I would come in behind him, and then we got him trapped. Well, I'm sitting there waiting for this dude to come up, and I'm in there like by myself, and I'm like, what the fuck am I doing? Like, I'm not trying to fucking hurt nobody. I don't want to fucking hurt this dude for his fucking, like, I'll go out and hustle money, but I just don't. Yeah. I'm not about this. And to be quite honest, the dude that I was with was not stiff at all. And so, like, it would be me fighting this dude. You know what I mean? It would be me end up wrestling this motherfucker. Who knows if he's got a pistol, like any of this shit. But he thinks he's coming over to meet his boy.
Yeah.
And so
like a homie.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
And so I don't know, I plugged that something went wrong, and so he's like, fuck it, I'm just gonna rob him and never use him again. And so he come in, and then I heard him come through, and I just never came out the door, and they start arguing and wrestling, and I could see through the crack, and so I let him get by. I acted like I tried to get him, but I let him get by and was going to let him make it.
Yeah.
Well, the dude from downstairs evidently was this dude upstairs, homeboy. And so we go running downstairs. The other dude goes downstairs. I'm following down. Well, the dude from downstairs heard the commotion going on and thought old boy upstairs was getting robbed. So this motherfucker comes out with a fucking samurai sword, dude. And he's chasing this dude around the street. This poor fucking other drug dealer's fucking running around not knowing where the fuck to go, anything like that. They're running. I'm just standing there like, oh, I just want to get high. What the fuck is this?
Yeah, bro.
And I just remember I was like, yo, this shit right here, this whole situation, I'm cool on. Like, this is too much.
Yeah.
I did some fucked up shit, but I ain't trying to hurt nobody with that stuff.
Shit like that'll change your life in an instant too. Like if I was on the other side of some of those situations and ended up in a cop car, bro, like I'd be gone for life.
Dude,
you know?
If you see some real violence, in life, bro, like I don't want to inflict that on anybody. Nah. You know what I mean? Like I'm good. I've seen enough of that in my life.
Yeah, especially now. It's like now I don't even. Like when people road rage or something, it's like, and I think we talked about this before. It's like once that switch flips, bro, I'm gone. Like like the Cricchi that is sitting here talking to you is not even existent. Mm-hmm. I have a mission and that's what I want to do. And it's a scary situation to be in. It's almost like you don't even know what you're gonna do. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And then you never know until it's like too late. You know. Right. For instance, last story, this dude. Justin was his name, come over to my house one time, and me and my buddy had a plan to rob him. And so I had this garage. Basically, I walked in behind him, and my homie was up in the loft. And the dude walks in the garage. It was some petty, too. It was like $120 or something. Like, it was not worth it. He walked in the garage, and instantly I came behind him and just, like, held him out, put him to sleep, checked him. He didn't bring the money inside. He left the money in the fucking car, dude. So this dude's asleep on my floor. I'm checking his socks, his shoes, like looking at his pants, his boxer loop. I'm like, bro, like he's got it somewhere. Didn't have it. So he wakes up and is like, bro, I knew you were going to do this. I didn't have the fucking money with me. Like, I left it so-and-so. I was like, all right, well, you're staying here. Tell your mom to bring the money here or something then. Like, you're staying here. My homie comes out of the loft. He's like, we're not going to have a hostage situation. Like, you got to let him go. I was like, nah, fuck that. Like, I want my money. So we ended up letting the dude go. So we let him go. He hits up my homie Dale, who is also at my house, just chilling inside, like, not really aware of what's going on. Hits him up. Dale comes out to the garage like, yo, Justin just hit me up for some pills. Do any of y'all have any? I was like, nah, but tell him to meet you at Captain Sam's, bro. Which was the store down the street. No. So we met him at Captain Sam's, bro. He gave Dale the money. Dale walks in the front of the store, out the back of the store. I pick him up. We drove around. I waved to Justin and fucking pulled off, bro.
That's fucked.
It was a pretty funny one, bro. But like when he walked in that room, to kind of circle back, like that was the instant where I was like, I didn't really know it was going to happen, but I knew what I wanted, and I knew what I had to get. So it was just like the easiest way to do that is if bro's incapacitated. And I just like slept him, put him to sleep. And then when homie's like, we don't want a hostage situation, like in my head, I'm like, fuck if I don't. Like, I want the money.
Right.
You know? And now I look back on that, and I'm just like, that's pure insanity. Like, that's fuck. Like, if somebody would have called the cops, if we would have actually reached out to his mom, like, bring the money here right now, she called the cops, and they showed up. I got a 38. This dude's asleep on the floor, and like, you know, his shoes are off and all this shit. It's like, I'm going to jail.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Bro, just pure insanity.
Yeah.
Man.
I got a quick funny one for you. So this is again in New York. I don't know why all my stories today are in New York, but
it's a wild place, dude.
It is. But it's upstate. I'm not even talking about the city. I'm talking about Albany. But they still get down there.
Yeah.
So, there's a. Where my father lives, there's a bridge, and once you go over the bridge, it gets into a little bit sketchier part of the area, we'll say, right? A lot
of cities, yeah.
So, but it's not that far apart, you know what I'm saying? It's just separated by a river. So, I'm like 14, 15 at the time, and I'm chilling with my boy and two of his boys who I don't really know. Yeah. And we have we got our packs of cigarettes, and we got the bright idea we're gonna find beer, and we're gonna get fucked up. And so we're sitting outside of this gas station. Have I told this story on the show? Damn it. Anyway, so we're sitting outside of this gas station, and we're going to try to get beer. This hood dude pulls up. He's got a fat white chick in the front seat, and I was like, yo, this is our guy right here. Like, he's going to get us the beer. And so he gets out. He's like got fatigues, Tim's on and everything. And the one dude runs up, asks him, and he's like, man, I don't got my ID on me. He's I just got to go back across the bridge, get the ID. You guys want to throw me like $20 or something? I'll get it for you. And so the dude's like, bet. And so he's like, all right, guys, hop in. And as soon as he said, I was like, no, I'm good. I'm cool.
Yeah.
We don't all need to go for this beer.
Yeah.
And so the other two are like, all right, cool. So they jump in and they go. And so I'm sitting there. We're sitting in this park waiting for them. 1 hour goes by. 2 hours goes by. They're still not back. I'm like, bro, these motherfuckers are dead.
Yeah.
Like, they ain't coming back.
Yeah.
Just probably 5 minutes after that, we see it was a purple Expedition. We see it pull up, and then it pulls up this side street where once you get up there, it's going to be a dead end, and it starts getting pretty dark up that way.
Yeah.
But there's side streets with houses.
Yeah.
So he's pulling up that way, and we start walking up there. And as we're walking up, I lean over to my dude, and I'm like, bro, something's not right. Why is he driving way up here?
Why did it take so long?
And he's like, nah, dude, we're good. We're good. Come on. And so we come up, and he turns on a street and parks right behind this big tree. But there's a house on the other side, like with a front yard and everything like that. Yeah. But we're in a neighborhood, but it's middle of the night at this point. And so he gets out of the car, he starts walking in the back seat, and we're like, yo, where's our boys? He goes, yo, we dropped them off at a party. Do you guys want to go? They wanted to stay. As soon as he started saying that shit, I'm like, bro, get the fuck out of here, you lying ass. Right. So he goes to reach in the back seat to grab the beer and turns around, and you just hear like that. And I was like, fuck. And he goes, chains, beepers, whatever you got, give them to me now. And so I'm like, shit. And so my buddy immediately starts like coming up off his shit.
Yeah.
So he hands it to him, and he turns around to give it to his girl. Well, I fucking dip and I take off. Yeah. But I'm like grabbing my boy, like, let's fucking go. He stays. He's like froze.
Bro.
And so I go up over this front yard, but the front yard goes like straight up. It was like I was going over a mountain. And I just remember running up this like very small front stoop or whatever. And I'm like, I'm going to get shot in the back. I'm going to get shot in the back. Holy fuck, I'm going to get shot in the back. So I run up this street. I see an old woman watching TV in her living room. And you see the TV on her light. And I run up to the window, and I start banging on the window. I'm like, ma'am, you got to call the police. You got to call the police. And she starts looking down, or she gets up, looks down. She's like, get out of my yard. Get out of here. I'm going to call the police. And I was like, please, call the police. Please.
Like, I'm going to stay.
My dude's going to die down there. And then all of a sudden I hear this pat, and I'm like, oh, fuck, he's coming after me. And so I hop down in the bushes. I'm hiding in the bushes, and this old woman is standing over me still yelling. And I'm like, you're going to get me fucking killed.
Yeah, right.
It's my buddy coming up the street. He doesn't have anything on him. He's gotten everything taken. Fucking, so we go to my dad's house, fucking tell him we got robbed. They take us down to the police station. A couple hours later, his boys ended up coming in. They didn't have none of their shit on them. So the next day we ended up.
The other boys, they all lost her there.
Yeah, they got jacked for everything and left across the bridge. So they had to walk back. Dang. So they made it, and so they're in the police station. And then we ended up coming out in the paper, but we're all under 18. Yeah. So it tells this whole elaborate story. And then the only part about me was the fourth youth fled. Yeah. Like that was my one part on there.
That was your stardom moment.
Right.
There.
And then to find out at all in the end, the gun wasn't even real.
Oh, brother. I've robbed people with a fake gun before. I'm not going to lie to you. I've done it with a BB gun. Yeah, I bet. I robbed somebody with a BB gun before.
Bro, robbed me with a real fucking pistol. God damn it.
Yeah, for real, bro.
Show me some respect.
For real, yeah. Once you're in it long enough, you start to realize that if it's a real gun, one, you can tell. Yeah. Two, you can see if it's loaded. Like
right.
If you look into a gun and the lighting's right, you can tell if a gun is loaded. Right. Usually if the barrel's too long, you can't. But, like the shorter stuff that people carry, you can usually tell.
Right.
That's wild, though.
It's crazy.
Bro had a BB gun, saw y'all at the store, and was like, I'm going to fuck these kids up.
These four little white dudes. Yeah, I got them.
Yeah, bro.
It's great to be at a point in life when you can look back on stories like that
and laugh. Like, bro probably went back to his single wide and bought a bag of weed with your money,
Yeah, right. Probably did. So, dude, how did you get sober? Were you a 12-step guy, or did you just get sober? Family?
Yeah. So originally, I'm not going to say originally because I still do, like, nightlies and keep up with my step work and try to live in the steps. But originally, I really was super in the program, like 3 meetings a day. 90 and 90 was definitely my thing, at least. I want to say I did like 120 and 90 or something like that, so at least 2 a day. If I missed one, I'd do 3 the next day type thing. I was heavy in the program, dude, and I kind of got to a point where I felt like I was excelling faster than the people around me, if that makes sense. And it wasn't any like ill will or anything felt towards anybody. It was just like I feel like you know, recovery is dope, but now I'm clean, so like now what? Like I'm not just gonna live in the same space forever. Like now what?
You want to build on
it? Yeah. So I kind of turned to the God thing, man, and I really started exploring like, you know, like natural remedies for things, and like just like how spiritual and you know, like spiritual things work, and just like that side of life. And I kind of started veering towards it, and was still kind of 1 foot in the program, 1 foot over in like the spiritual realm kind of thing. I wouldn't say I'm super religious, but definitely super spiritual. So I kind of had like 1 foot in both of them. And then I kind of realized that like they could totally coexist together, obviously, right? So it's like I don't necessarily go to meetings as much as I used to anymore. I love to speak, love speaking. I love helping people. Like if somebody calls me, help them in a heartbeat. But I more so now, man, kind of stay to myself. I have a strong, small network of men that I reach out to if something goes wrong. Yeah, I feel like I built such a solid foundation. It made it to where I didn't have to necessarily stay in those meetings every time. Like I have my group, I have like another group, I have this group. So it's just like, you know, I don't know really how to explain it.
Started living a life.
Yeah,
Sounds
dude.
like, dude.
Yeah, man. It's just it all came together, man. And it's at a point now where it's like I don't even necessarily identify as like somebody that's like full blown living a 12-step lifestyle. You know what I mean? I more so identify with like people that are I would say normies, but there's still like times where we'll be having a conversation. It's like, yeah, bro, I remember shooting dope in my neck, and then they're like, what the fuck, you know? But I just kind of, you know, classify myself as somebody that I do what works for me. I kind of, you know, nobody's program looks the same, you know. So yeah, that's kind of where I'm at.
It's good. People are being more outspoken about that. You find what works for you, and it's not this cookie cutter. It has to be this way. Nah. I don't want to keep saying it every podcast, but it's the more people understand, like, this is your foundation, build on that foundation.
Yeah.
If you think you're just going to sit on your foundation and just be fulfilled in life and everything's great, like, maybe that wasn't my experience though. Like, I needed to build on that.
100%. Yeah. If you're feeling comfort in where you're at, you're probably not in the right place.
Right.
You know.
For sure. So then, dude, your rap stuff, like, you've been doing it a while, but you got some big songs with some big people.
I do. Yeah.
How do you even navigate those waters of like looking for different artists that you want to collab with, or, you know what I mean? How is it? What's it like for an upcoming musician, rapper, like trying to get with bigger artists and stuff like that?
So it's 90% of the time it's super difficult. The song that I have with Caskey, I think it took me like a month to finally kind of get his attention, and once I did, I kind of just sent him a song, and he was.
So you mean you didn't message him once and then just quit?
No, absolutely
really
not. No, there was probably like 5 or 6 messages throughout a month, and then every time he went live, I'd instantly, like, if I was on and I saw it, I'd hop in his live and be like, "Yo, like, let's get a feature. Like, how much for a feature?" And 90% of the time, a lot of bigger artists like that, just they're like, "This is how much the feature is," and they know that there's a lot of people that bullshit when it comes to capitalizing on like an opportunity, right? So it's like nobody wants to give a deal just for you to be like, I don't really have it. Give me like, you know, give me like a couple months. So I reached out, and when he told me how much it was, I told him my budget. I was like, give me a little bit of time. Ended up connecting with him like 2 weeks later, got that paid for, locked in with Caskey. And honestly, it was kind of like a dream come true, because it was like in all those moments when I was sitting in my bedroom, like I said, smoking and doing this, doing that, and just like living in hell. In those moments, I would be like withdrawing and just thinking about my dreams of making music, right? Because that doesn't come first when you're getting high. So in those moments, like Caskey was who I would listen to. He had a song called Anxious I would listen to all the time.
I know it well.
Yeah, he like just his catalog in general, but that song specifically pulled me out of a lot of dark moments where it was like he feels how I feel, and he's doing it. And then with that, it kind of just blossomed. Like, I sent him the song. He literally replied and was like, "This is refreshing. Like, I love this song. I'll hop on it." Hopped on it. We did the song. I ended up flying to Florida, doing a video with him. That went super smooth. And then the Mercules thing kind of came out of that.
Is this post Cash Money, or is he still with Cash Money at this point?
After Cash Money. Yeah, after Cash Money. Fully independent, I think he was. Like, when he pulled up to the video shoot, it was almost odd. He just pulled up, him, his manager, and, like, little BMW. They pulled up, and it was like hanging with a homie.
Right.
Like, he was nothing like, you know, you would think somebody at that level would be. He was just, like, giving information and kind of opening doors, or, like, showing me where the key's hidden for certain doors. And just his manager, Anonymous, was the same way, man. Shout out to both of them. They literally, that 3-hour, 4-hour video shoot, I mean, I probably got enough keys to level up, you know, in a matter of time. So,
and bro, I don't mean to interrupt you,
No,
but that's what I appreciate about first sitting down and talking with you, because I think you and I were like that immediately. You know what I'm saying? Like, anything I know information I got, and it's like, the more I continue to go down this road and do this, like, those are the motherfuckers I want to be around.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, the door holders, if they're holding it shut, are never helpful. And I'm not really a fan, because it's like, everybody in the midst of working towards a huge goal, right? Like, you have to be a little bit crazy to do this shit. Mm-hmm. Like, you can't, like, people think it's cool. I heard my homie Gringo say this the other day, and it hit me so hard. Like, people think it's dope when you're 17 and 18 rapping and chasing your dreams, right? Like, that's tight. But when you're 25, 26 and, like, unable to pay your bills and putting everything into your dreams, like, people don't think that's fucking cool, bro. Right. Like, when you call somebody for a ride because you haven't bought a car yet because you've done 6 videos, like, people aren't like, oh, sick, yeah, man, keep chasing that dream, I'll come get you. Right. You know, it's really like nobody's on the bandwagon at some point. Right. And you just got to keep pushing, man. You got to keep going through it. You know,
dude, it gets lonely.
It
gets lonely, dude.
Very.
And
that's the hardest part of being real, man. And Gringo said that too.
Right. And dude, and what's oftentimes what sucks is, like, your close people. And I'm not slighting anybody, but it's like they know you. You know what I'm saying? I was having a conversation with another guy recently, and I was like, bro, unfortunately, like, my wife will never look at me the way the rest of the world looks at me. Like, to my wife, I ain't shit. Yeah. I'm saying that jokingly, but
no, I get it.
I'm her husband. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I'm not fucking whatever else.
Yeah.
And so I forgot where I was going with that. There's that mental fucking fog again.
No, yeah, I get it all the time. I think that's, remember, we had mentioned this too, and I was like, it helps a lot when I take my wife places. Like, if I take my wife to a big show and I perform and get off stage, like, I can tell her energy is, like, more, like, it goes from being, like, just my wife to being, like, more submissive, more open to, like, the thoughts of, like, what I'm trying to do more, because she sees it coming into fruition, versus, like, me just being like, babe, this is gonna work out, like, this is gonna work out, trust me, I know there's no money in the accounts, but, like, trust me, this is gonna work. And when things happen and that proof starts coming, it's just like getting clean, bro. Like, think about when you first got clean, right? When you first got clean, nobody fucking believed you. Right. You know what I mean? Yep. Your parents still don't want to talk. This person don't want to talk. You're still a piece of shit in these people's eyes, you know, but, like, 60 days in, you're like, why don't these fucking people believe me? Right. And still nobody believes you. 90 days in, you're like, why don't they fucking, like, I'm doing it? What do you mean? Right. And it's like, you just haven't given the proof yet, man. Yep. And then you get to a certain point where it's like, whether it be 1, 2, 3 years, and people start kind of, you know, starting to kind of gravitate towards you. And I think dreams are the same way, where it's like you chase this far-fetched ambition thing that, you know, a very select percentage of the world is. And it's like, nobody really believes in that. But then when you start catching traction and going up, it's like, oh, holy shit, he's really doing it. Let me hop on the train. And it's like, you know, people. I don't think people realize how hurtful, not the close people, like people you're close to. I don't think they realize how hurtful it is when you're really pursuing something and you're passionate about it, and they kind of disappear. Like, good luck. And then when it works out, they're like, oh, I always believed in you, bro. It's like, those are the comments that I'd be like, man, fuck off. You know what I mean? Like, You may have, but you didn't tell me that. You know what I'm saying? I'm over here alone as fuck in my room writing music, like, in tears, praying this works one day, because I can't get a fucking job at McDonald's because of my record. It's like, you know, I'm praying it works, and you were fucking nowhere to be found, and now it's working, and you're like, I always believed in you. Right. You know?
Yeah, dude. There's a lot of people thought I was crazy, that I was going to leave where I was working and doing what I was doing to do a podcast or to do any of that. Yeah. But a lot of those are the same people be like, bro, when am I getting on? When am I getting on? What I mean? Motherfucker, I ain't seen you throw a comment on one of those posts. For real, I ain't see you fucking comment on how an episode was or anything. Bro, don't hit me up and try to get on the show and you don't even fucking follow the show. You know? Don't tell me you love what we're doing and you don't follow it or anything like that. Like, I don't get down with that shit. Like, I want people here that are the same like-minded people.
Yeah, bro. Like if I got 20 episodes and I don't see you in one comment section, and then you're like, "Yo, when can I get on the show?"
Bro,
like,
love your shit, dude.
Like, damn, bro. You could have done some research before you hopped on or something. Like,
right.
Damn, bro.
There's these guys that go around and they're basically doing like the podcast circuit, and so they'll go around
traveling.
Well, I mean, though, anybody in their local area that has a podcast, they're trying to get on because they're trying to build their individual brand, which I understand. Yeah. I get it, but bro, you got to bring something to the table.
Yeah, absolutely.
And just be honest, bro. Like shoot me straight. Like, hey, dude, here's what I'm trying to do. Would love to get on the show. Or like, all right, well, maybe we can talk and find an angle of context of why I would bring you on.
Yeah.
But don't, yo, I love your stuff, man. Fucking this and that, and then I click on your shit. Like, motherfucker, you ain't even. Yeah, you just found my shit. What do you mean? Yeah, right. Like, I don't know what you're talking about.
Right, yeah. I found I Am Redemption, I think, before I found your actual page, like your personal page.
Yeah, I don't give a shit about that personal page.
Yeah.
I had somebody recently tell me that I was fucking up by trying to build the Instagram or the podcast page as my individual page, and I was like, bro, my goal is not to be popular. Don't get me wrong, I'm sure I know having individual following helps and all that shit.
Yeah.
But bro, I want to have a great fucking show. Yeah. I want to have a community. This is what I'm passionate about building.
Yeah.
Bro, I could way back when the documentary and the movie came out, I could have been building my personal brand and built a following. I didn't put in 1 ounce of effort into social media. Yeah. But now when you involve community and helping people and shit like that, now I'm passionate about it and let's fucking go.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, man, I think a lot of people, like I said, man, they just, who hops on a train that's not moving?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's like once that bitch takes off, it's like hop on it.
Right. But it is cool, dude, to see those of us who've chosen this alternate route to employment or to what we're going to do with our life, because I think we find each other in the wild or on social media and it's like, oh, I'm not fucking crazy. I'm not fucking alone in this world.
It is good to have we said that when we ate breakfast. Yeah. Like it's good to have a conversation with somebody because you do feel crazy.
Yeah.
You literally feel like you're insane. Like you're like chasing the dragon, as they say. It's just like it almost doesn't exist until it exists.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So
but it's a different thing, bro, when you know in your heart that it does exist and it will fucking happen. It's a different feeling.
All the time. Like, the money will come.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if I just do the right thing, help people, and continue chasing my dreams, the money will come.
Yeah.
Like, I don't even worry about it.
Right.
And it did. Like
right.
And fun fact, I saw this on the Russell's page the other day, and it blew my mind. It made so much sense to me. It was like you build your catalog as an artist. If you have 10 songs that do 25,000 streams a week, a month. That's like $10,000 a month.
So it's funny you said that because do you know who Don Tripp is?
I do, yeah. Starlito and Don.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Don Tripp, one of my favorite rappers. That dude's dropped an album a month for like the past year and a half.
Yeah.
Not mixtapes either, like albums.
Yeah.
And I was like, the only thing I can I don't know the music industry, but all I can figure out is these platforms are fucking the artists so much where it's like, I'm just going to flood this shit. Because with the way content is now, like, if your album, I haven't heard a classic album in I don't know how long. There's not many albums I listen to where I go back and like,
repeat it. Yeah.
There's just not anymore. Yeah. The same thing with shows, movies, all that type of shit. But so I wondered, it's like, man, is that it? Like you put out an album, you get a couple weeks listening out of it, and then people move on to the next thing. So it's like, all right, I got to keep pumping these albums out every fucking month.
I think it's more so because when you put up new music is when the platforms show it to new people, right? Mm-hmm. So like if you put up a new song and all your listeners listen to it, they show that to the new people. But if a bunch of new people aren't liking it, then it kind of stays in your listener circle. And the more you post, the more they push people your way. Like I have a homie that's been dropping once a week for I want to say like the past 2 years.
A song?
Yeah.
Okay.
Every week he drops one song.
Russ
every
does
Friday.
that shit.
Yeah, that's pretty much what the homie Gringo did, and he now he just surpassed 1 million streams this year alone already. I think he's at like 3 million total, but he did more streams this year alone than he did in the first 2 years of doing that. Mm-hmm. But he's been doing it for so long that it's like Spotify started to be like, okay, music's dope, people are liking it, and he's releasing every Friday. People want new. People want fresh. They want new content. Attention spans are, like 2 seconds. Right. So it's like people want something new. And I've seen him do that, dude, and it blew him out of the water. Like he's doing phenomenal now.
Really?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure his monthly listeners are up to like 87,000 on Spotify. Go. Yeah, he's killing it.
Recovery guy too?
No, but extremely good person. Like, okay. I love the dude, and I love to see him do well. Like, I love to see my friends win. The shit makes me excited. You know what I mean?
Where's he at?
He's out of Houston, I want to say. Yeah.
Okay. Oh, he's a Texas cat?
Yeah.
Gringo, I'm gonna have to peep you out,
bro. Tough.
Really?
Oh my god.
Spitter?
I think I told you about it when we were eating.
I think whatever songs you told me to listen to that day, I did listen to. So if it was in there,
I think that was Honest Abe maybe. But dude, Gringo is like, yeah, he's probably in like my top 10, maybe of all time, maybe. He's just so cold, bro. Like his ability to write lyrics and make you see it. You know, like, you know how you listen to a song. I know exactly what you're saying. Bro, like his ability to do that is just like chilling.
Yeah.
You know?
Bro, that's the shit. I want
substance.
Yeah. Like
I want substance in it.
I think I told you this before, but like my friends used to get mad when we'd have sleepovers because I would just sit there and want them to crowd around and just put on CD after CD like, yo, you got to hear this verse. You got to hear this track. They didn't give a fuck,
bro.
Dude. But I was such a dork from it. You know what I mean? Like, I fucking loved it. I was infatuated with it.
Burnt CDs, you go to LimeWire and download a shit ton of hits, dude.
Dude, OG Napster shit I was fucking on.
Oh, yeah.
Dude, that was when you could first get Eminem's Infinite album.
Oh, yeah, bro.
Like, when I discovered that, like, you can get this on the internet? This isn't even out. Holy shit. Bro, I used to get so hyped for music, going to the CD store or just riding around in the fucking car, bumping music. Like, music was my, like, life.
Dude, I tell you something that was super euphoric was when I had hard copies made of my last album, and they came in the mail, and it was like an actual, genuine, like, pearl clear CD case. It had the booklet in it. Had like, you took the disc out and the picture was there on the spine. It had like a phrase from one of my songs, and it had like a barcode, had the FBI copyright thing on it. And I like got a little emotional. I'm like, dude, I used to walk into fucking stores when I was little. Like, I was a young kid with my dad or my mom.
I said when I was little.
Yeah, dude, and I'd walk in and I'd buy, you know, like a CD. Like, I remember my first CD I ever bought was like the Kid Rock CD with the 2 middle fingers on the front cover. And it was just like, I remember doing that. And now, like, I have CDs in stores and I have CDs available for purchase. And it was just like, it was such a surreal moment. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Dude, I had the exact same thing when the director of the documentary hit me up and he goes, yo, did you go get a hard copy from Walmart? And I was like, what? He goes, they got released in Walmart. And I'm like, you're fucking...
Dude, that's so
Bro,
fire,
what?
Bro.
My movie's in fucking fire, Walmart?
Dude, that's fucking... Is it still there?
I don't know. I know you could for sure get it online on Walmart.
I'm going to have to look. Yeah, I'm going to have to look.
You can rent it on Amazon or a bunch of other platforms now because it's been years since it's done. But the fact that I got to walk into a fucking Walmart, I didn't even know they were still making DVDs.
Yeah,
this is only like
I usually only see them in the discount box in the middle.
Right,
yeah.
But this was legit in the fucking things and all that stuff. And I was like, holy fuck. But dude, I think it's in my truck.
Yeah, that's sick.
Because a lot of the places where I'll go and they want to show it, they'll be way out in the fucking hill country or whatever, and they have no internet. So it's like, oh, I do have a hard copy, but bro, I got to walk into a fucking much like same exact thing as you did and buy that
like
shit.
Like a corporation store.
And it's like, I have this in my fucking hand, dude.
Holy
fuck.
It's a surreal moment.
That's crazy.
Absolutely, bro.
It's crazy.
It's a vibe, man.
It is.
It gives you a little bit of inspiration too. Like, I'm doing something right, you know?
Dude.
All those little wins, man, add up. All of them.
For sure. Know? You and I, one thing I want to talk about, and you and I spoke on it before, but like, so many people have so many ideas, and it's rare when you find people that put them into action.
Capitalize.
And I've been trying to talk about that a lot recently because I don't think until I heard, like, somebody pointed out that I'm constantly like in the grind mode.
Yeah.
And a lot of people are just constantly in this idea mode and then there's never any action.
Yeah.
And so he was pointing out and giving me a compliment that he's like, dude, you're always in the grind mode.
Yeah.
That's fucking great. And it's just really cool to be able to like identify other people that are doing that too. And I try to talk about it more because once I heard that, I was like, damn, they're right. And it's like, do these people realize that? Do they understand that? Because oftentimes you don't see like yourself. And so being able to point out to people like, bro, that's a great idea. What are you going to do to make it happen?
Yeah.
Like right now.
Yeah.
Right this very moment, what are you doing to make it happen?
Yeah.
Because don't tell me like, oh yeah, dude, we're going to do this. Like when?
Yeah.
Like, bro, if you don't put a date or a time on it, that shit ain't never going to fucking happen.
I've got to the point now where I oftentimes just, like, I won't even mention it. I just do it. Like when I came in here, I looked around, I was like, oh, sign behind me, podcast mic. I was like, let me do this little video real quick. And I didn't even say anything. I recorded one before you came in, and then when you came in, I was like, yo, hold this phone for me and let me do some, you know what I mean? And it's that kind of thing. I think people just, a lot of people think of things and then it's either on to the next thing or it's like they kind of talk themselves out of it. Yeah. You know what I mean? Where it's like, if I have an idea, it may sound stupid in my head, but let me see if it's stupid. So like, let me do it. And then when I'm done, if I'm like, oh, this was a dumb idea, at least I tried. Right. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, my biggest pet peeve with myself is if I think of something and don't, dude, God gave you an imagination. Like people have imaginations, and it's like when shit comes to your mind, there's a reason it is there at that specific time. Just like writing music, I could not write any of the songs that I have out. I could not write them again in this moment, right? Like it was that specific moment, that specific time. I was writing that song, and it came out the way it did. And so it's the same with ideas. When it's like you have an idea, and in that moment, you're instantly, as soon as that idea comes up, you're instantly either passionate about it or you're not passionate about it. But it's like you got to chase it, because at the end of the day, like music that grows on you, right? Like you hear a song at first, you're like, I don't really fuck with it. You listen to it 2 or 3 times, you're like, I'm kind of starting to fuck with this. Yeah. It's just like that, man. Like you got to do. You got to do it. Yeah. What Shia LaBeouf say, just do it. Right. You know?
Do you have, I just had this thought recently. I'm curious if you have the same one, and it's, because I'm like always in this grind mode or whatever, it's like I have a vision of what I want to be, what I want I Am Redemption to be. You know what I mean? It's still taking shape, it's still taking form. And so ever since I got sober, it's like I constantly have this chip on my shoulder, like I got something to prove, I got to fucking do this. Yeah. And so I know where I want it to be, and I know I'm far from where I want it to be. Yeah. But yesterday I had the realization, you know, I went out and got to do a bunch of cool shit yesterday, right? Yeah. And I was driving home, and I'm like, yo, like, I definitely want to continue working towards where I'm going, but I looked around, and I was like, yo, life is pretty fucking, I'm doing what I fucking love. Like, I'll sit there and complain about this or that, but I get to go walk around and shoot fucking videos for a fucking, you know what I mean? I get to come do this. And it's like, yeah, I still have a lot to grind, but it's like taking that moment to just be like,
appreciate it.
Man, like, it's good. I tell people all the time in the gym, like, I only compare myself to, like, these top 1% of people that I'm never going to fucking be. Yeah. And it's oftentimes I don't ever, like, take a stop and just look around and be like, you know what? Like, give myself a pat on the back. Too. Yeah.
Like, not appreciating what you've accomplished will, like, yourself, you know what I mean, will put you, because I've done it where I'm just like, I have a place I want to be, but because I'm not there, I'm not happy with it. You know what I mean? And it's like, dude, you gotta take the wins, man. Yeah. Any win. Like any win. When you're chasing a dream that's fucking crazy, dude, any win is a win. Right. You know what I mean? Any win. Right.
I know you know all this, but I just wanted to say it on the show, man. It's really cool what's going on. Basically, there's a facility here in Austin, and they're called The Last Resort, and they're basically doing like an I Am Redemption week. Yeah. Dude, I'm so honored. It's a facility I've worked with for years. Some of my best friends in the industry are over there. Fucking love what they do. But, bro, they showed the documentary 100 Miles to Redemption at the beginning of the week. Through the course of doing the podcast, I've had a couple of my friends on that work there, so they actually showed those episodes to the clients. And then I teamed up with this other company called Pro Friction. There's some great guys. They had just moved in from California. They're young and hungry, and they're about doing good in the community, bro. They're handy with the cameras, and they just want to build something special. And
that's fire.
So we teamed up, and we came up with the idea for the I Am Redemption games. Yeah. And so for me, dude, running this 100-mile race and running ultra marathons and working out in the gym, bro, it's taught me so much about life, about recovery, and just overcoming adversity. Yeah. In the physical, mental, spiritual space, the whole nine. And so we came up with these games, and to describe the games, you think of like Survivor, but a little bit more workout focus with heavyweight vests,
like more physically demanding instead of like mentally.
Well, no, there's definitely mental
both.
Too.
Yeah, both. But
they're gonna know they were doing it, and so. But we're gonna go out there
tomorrow morning, especially.
Yeah. So we're gonna go out. We're gonna get to go out there. You're coming with.
Yeah, I'll be there.
And so we're gonna do it with the staff and the clients, dude. And it's fucking super special. But the most special part about it all is about, I'd say 3 to 4 weeks ago, the dude who I actually did my first ever heroin shot with from my hometown discovered the podcast online, started listening to it. hit me up, and bro, he came clean on it. Not, I don't want to say he came clean, but he bared it all to me. You know what I mean? He'd been lying to himself for years, needed fucking help, been hooked on Suboxone for 10 years, drinks 2 cases of beer a day, needs 12 beers in him just to be normal.
Yeah.
And thought because he wasn't on heroin that he was living life. Yeah. And he's like, bro, I've been lying to myself. And so we got him in there. And so it's just, if that's not a God thing, dude, I don't know what it is. But what's the chances, bro, of my life to be where it was, to be where it is now, and to be honored to do something at a facility here in Austin and do all this cool fucking shit.
And he's there.
And to have that dude there. And so I went out there and spoke yesterday, man, and it was emotional. I was trying to find him. Yeah. You know, there was, I'm talking to 60, 70 guys. Yeah. And I'm sitting there looking, I'm like, where the fuck is he? And because I figured immediately as soon as I walk in, like, he'd run up, hug. Yeah. But, bro, he was just, it took me back because he was just so raw. Like, he was sitting there, bro, and, like, he couldn't even look at me without crying. And just, dude, it's about to make me cry talking about it. But just sitting there trying to talk to him and just embracing him, like, bro, I'm so fucking proud of you, man. Like, you're feeling all these emotions right now because you don't have your security blanket of alcohol with you right now. But I promise you, in a couple of days, you're gonna start feeling better.
You'll be proud of yourself soon. Yeah.
So, dude, I'm excited to introduce you to him tomorrow.
Yeah, absolutely.
It'll be cool how this all is coming together.
I love stuff like that, dude. Like I said, I don't do like meetings as much as I used to anymore, but I, more than anything, like literally more than anything, love going to share a story and speaking to people and then waiting after. And it's not even the story sharing that I enjoy. It's the conversations that I have with people after I share the story. Because then people are like, I related to this and I feel this way right now. And it's like, oh, bro, like I can help you through it, or whatever the case may be, dude. Like that's one of my favorite things in the world. It's worth more than money to me, you know, if that makes sense. Like,
just the way you just said that made me realize, dude, it's kind of how we find our people. Because
100%.
Because if you go speak somewhere, let's say you're speaking to a group of 30, hopefully everybody got something from it. You know, they walk away. But usually in our world, there will be a handful of guys, however good you did, basically, will be that many people standing there waiting for you afterwards. Yeah. Whether it's just to shake your hand and thank you, or like super connect on something that you said to them.
Absolutely.
And bro, that right there, it's like, these people right here, these little 10 people that just came up out of that 30, these are my motherfuckers.
That's the shit that keeps people clean, I think, especially in early recovery. Like, when I went into them rooms, I'd never really given them a chance until this time around. I'd been in and out, but, like, I'd never paid attention, you know? It was more like, I get this slip signed and take it to my probation officer. Like, here I am. But, man, like, those first meetings I was going to, like, I would, you know, out of 20 shares in an hour or whatever, you'd hear one that was like, fuck, bro, like, damn. And then after the meeting, you talk to that guy, and it's like, oh, okay, like, hell yeah, bro, like, this is making sense to me. Like, now I feel like I'm not so alone. And then, and as you continue to go through the recovery process, that circle of those moments where it's like, hell yeah, I don't feel so alone, just gets bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. And eventually it's like you realize that you're not alone, you know? Right. And I think that's a huge turning point. At least it was in my recovery, right? Where it's like I realized that it wasn't just me who was having these problems. And I also, you know, I always say, like, compare in. Don't compare out. Like, don't compare me robbing trap houses to you taking money from your mommy's wallet. Like, don't compare it to that. Compare the fact that we were both feeling like we needed something. We both had a mission, and we both saw it through in a bad way to get what we wanted, right? Like, we both were not feeling okay. We both, you know, probably regret what we did. It's like there's so much, people have so much more in common than they realize, but because people want to emphasize what they've been through versus what they were feeling when they went through it, people feel like they can't relate to certain people, you know?
100%.
Does that make sense?
Dude, yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely. So where do you see, you know, I don't know if you're a manifester, I don't know if you have a 5-10 year plan or anything like that, but like, where do you want to see this going?
Man, at the end of the day, I would love to be one of the biggest artists in the world, and not for promoting like the bad shit. You know what I mean? Like the verse I put up on Instagram the other day, that's an artistry side of things. That is 100% a real person that really feels that way. That, like, that's me, but that's just not who I am now. Right. You know what I mean? Right. And I think more than anything,
that's probably why I liked it so much.
You know, it's a flashback into the past, 100%. And I like I told you before this started, like, I'm working on a project called War Stories, where it's strictly that. Like it's dark. It's dark. I wrote one the other night about one of the situations where I walked in a house to rob somebody. I came through the door, gun drawn, and there was like a kid in front of me. It was literally a kid. He was probably 7 to 9 maybe. And I told the kid, I was like, sit the fuck on the floor and don't move. You know? I was like, where's your dad? He said, my dad's not here. And it like oddly lightened the mood, you know? So I like went and took the shit and was like, I'm sorry you had to see that. And I left. But it was like, I wrote a song about that, like in like grave detail of like what I felt like, you know, was going on in that situation. And the whole album's going to be like that. So I think people will, you know, I think they'll enjoy.
I love it, dude. And just showing your versatility, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I definitely, that's the hard part about music, dude, is like I never know what direction I want to go. It's like whatever I feel that day, you know what I mean? Like that We Are Changed is like mainly like kind of country, outlaw, rockish oriented. And then it's like 2 days after I post like a hard rap verse, and it's just like, you know, I don't think there's any limit, you know? Right. I think some fans don't understand that. They're kind of like Caskey just put out like a rock song, like kind of a heavy metal. And I saw a lot of people being real supportive, but also some people being like, oh, like this is trash, like he's selling out or he's doing it. It's like, nah, bro, it's growth.
Right.
Like it's growth. You know, if you go to the gym for 6 years straight, you don't look the same as when you started going to the gym. Right. Like you change, you grow, you know? So, yeah, man, that's.
Dude, it's kind of like social media shit. Like, you don't want to be a one-trick pony. It's not like, you know what I mean?
Nah, anybody I've seen blow up overnight fell off overnight.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly. I was definitely.
Yeah.
There was I was talking to another gentleman who's super excited. He had a clip go, you know, pretty viral or whatever like that. And I was like, bro, like, has your life changed at all?
Yeah.
You getting phone? Is somebody sending you checks?
Yeah.
Like, it's cool. I'm happy for you, but like, there's a lot bigger things out here than that right there.
Yeah.
And if that's why you're in it, then you might be in it for.
You got to capitalize on those moments. I think that's where a lot of people, kind of circling back to what we were talking about. Like I just posted that verse on TikTok yesterday, and it went crazy. So what I do this morning, I wake up and I post something similar on TikTok. It's like you got to capitalize on those moments, because it's not a million views is tight, but like there's billions of people, billions, which means if you get 3 million views, that's 10%,
right,
if not less, of the people that could hear it. Right. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And so it's just like, even in the U.S., so it's just like, man, you gotta keep pushing. Like, don't hang up on the fact that one thing did well. It's like if that thing did well, do something similar, capitalize on that, and continue to build it. You know, right. I think a lot of people go viral and they sit back and watch statistics like, oh, it's going bigger, it's going bigger, it's going bigger. It's like, that's the biggest mistake you can make.
Post some more shit.
Yeah, dude, post more, flood it, almost get on people's nerves at some point. You know what I mean?
Right. Who in the music do you look up to? And I'm not saying like who do you think's the best rapper, who do you want to be like that, but like whose career do you want to kind of model yourself after, or who do you really look up to of what they've been able to accomplish in the industry?
Man, 3 people come to mind: La Russell, Russ, and my homie Gringo. Gringo's obviously probably the lowest as far as
underground compared to those guys.
I guess. He definitely has some mainstream songs, but just he's not as recognized as Russ and La Russell are. I actually got a song with La Russell. He's a great dude as well. But just like the things that they do, like La Russell will make a move and literally post on Instagram and tell you how to do it. Like, tell you how to do it. And it's like, I go do it. Mm-hmm. Like, if I see it, I'm like, I'm going to do it. Like, everything's working for him. Might as well try it. And if it doesn't work, it's not my road. But if it does, it's like dope. And I just think the more people that start to come in the game and help the next person is when we'll get rap, like music back. Mm-hmm. Like, music has fallen into this, like, let's talk about bitches and money and guns and this and that. And it's like, that's all cool, bro. But like, like, not everybody can relate to that. Right. You know what I mean? And I think if there's one thing we can all relate to, it's pain, bro. Mm-hmm. Like, everybody has pain in some way, shape, or form. So I think at the end, sorry, I got kind of off track. I think kind of at the end, like, the independence that Russ and the Russell, even Mercury's too, like the independence they have and the route they've kind of taken where it's like they did what they enjoyed doing. They didn't sign to a label and then put out a bunch of music and then now like the label owns a bunch of music and now you're in debt, now you're this. It's like I just kind of want to build my own shit, and whatever that ends up looking like, you know, like I'm grateful for even being alive to try, you know.
So you're going to try to keep it the independent route?
For the most part, I think, and unless like for me to sign to a label and take any of my masters or anything like that, I would need a life-changing amount of money. Like those songs are legacy for me. It's not just like, you know, items. Mm-hmm. So it's like, and like I said, I could never write those songs again. So it's like if you offer me $50,000 for, you know, to keep my masters, but you're gonna publish me and do this for 2 years, and then I get my stuff back, that's a different story. I'll stay with you for 2 years. You'll make your money. You'll build my brand in the process, and then after the 2 years, I can kind of go back on my way. Which is kind of what Caskey did, you know, like, so shit, I forgot where I was going with that.
People you look up to, right?
Yeah, that's what we were talking about. I forgot where I was going with saying that though. Blanked out.
It's all right.
Blanked out. Happens all the time.
I know, it just happens to me.
Yeah, yeah, dude. Happens all the time. I start thinking about something else while I'm talking about something, and it's just like everything blanks out.
Were you going with Russell? Because Russ, you hadn't said anything about him yet.
Oh, yeah.
You're talking about Lil Russell telling everybody how to do things and they're not doing it.
Yeah, and Russ is just independent. Like, right. he cracked the code. And
Bro, I had no idea that dude could rap like he could.
Fire.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
What was it, Chomp?
Yeah.
He had like Joey Badass and a couple of them on there.
Yeah.
Bro, I heard that and I was like, yo, this dude raps like this.
Yeah, bro's fire.
Like that dude he's an artist.
Yes.
Like musician.
I don't like to compare myself to anybody because I think we're all super different. But I think when it comes to artistry, I'm similar to that guy in the aspect of like sometimes he's over here singing to you and sometimes he's over here like in your face with some shit that just melts your eyelids back. And it's like that's the art of it, and I love that part of it. Like that's why I don't really like the hibbity hobbity dibbity like guns bitches do it, because it's like, bro, like so many songs are like that. Right. It's like put some substance in there, bro. Like I want to feel something.
See, bro, like I don't know if it's because we're from up north, or like what, or like the type of hip hop we grew up on, or what it is, but I'm starting to understand. Like I know everything doesn't have to be bars and all that kind of shit. But like there's some of these songs that are popular by groups that are like mumble rap, like those type of guys where there's no lyricism, there's no creativity, they're talking about bullshit.
Yeah.
The beat's not even that good.
Yes.
And it's that
yeah.
And I mean there's some of it where I'm like, I guess like I just can't even take it fucking serious.
Yeah.
Like it's not.
I think it's cookie cutter. Like, you know, when you drive past those neighborhoods and all the houses are the same build, but they have different siding. It's like that reminds me of the rap game. It's like all these rappers have the same motto, same type of words, same type of vibe. It's just like a different dress, dress up, I should say. Although some of these rappers do be wearing dresses. I don't know what the fuck y'all be on, but yeah.
They've chilled out with that now, right?
Yeah, I think the world's kind of taking a turn, dude.
Yeah.
I think in general.
Pendulum swung back.
Huh?
Pendulum swung back.
Yeah, I think it kind of is because real music is kind of coming back to the forefront where it's like I start to see all my friends that are fire, but like make genuine music that was never blown up. Even my own music, like I can see the gradual climb of like people, you know, kind of veering back into like the music with substance in it, because that's what it's for, dude. It's like when you hear a song, you want to feel something, dude. Like I don't just want to sit in my car and rap about shooting people and robbing people. Like I want to know how it felt when you robbed somebody. I want to know how it felt when you shot somebody. Like let me know how that shit felt. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Man.
There's a song called "Breathing" and it's by a local Ohio artist. His name is Showtime. But bro, I gotta send it to you because I've never seen another song where like a better picture could have been painted.
Yeah.
Like you see it's like a movie. You're just like the whole time.
What's it called?
It's called "Breathing."
I'm gonna send you one back. I just got goosebumps thinking about it. It's called "Shot in the Dark" by Casey Makes Music.
Okay.
Brother.
All right.
I almost get teary. Like I get teary every time I hear the song. It is impressive.
But you know what's funny? I get teary every time I hear "Devil in My Veins" by Yellow Wolf.
Oh yeah.
Don't know why.
Yeah.
Because if you really listen to it,
yeah,
it's not really saying much.
Yeah.
But just the way the song is and all that stuff with the guitar and all that stuff, that shit makes me want to tear up every time.
You'd be surprised how much vibrational frequencies have things to do with like like hertz, like the hertz of a song can reach you in different ways.
Really?
Like, yeah, like there's I want to say it's 333 megahertz or something like that. That like a spiritual vibe, like there's some type of spiritual relation between that megahertz level and like how the human body processes it, which is like there's a recipe for hit songs. Like if I'm sure labels have a whole spreadsheet of like this and vowels, like using vowels in choruses like A-E-I-O-U. That always seems to do well. Like if you look at any big like NBA YoungBoys, I ain't going outside today. It's all vowels in the chorus. It's and a lot of music's like that now.
Do you think NBA YoungBoy's sitting there putting the thought process into doing that?
No, but I think absolutely labels give you parameters. But also, I truthfully think he's just a good artist, like in his lane. Because he was 17 when he started blowing up, something like that. And he's always been pretty fire. So
right.
Yeah.
So hypothetical question for you right now.
Okay.
Right. Tonight, how much do you weigh?
189, 190, something like that.
All right. Tonight, you're walking out for the light heavyweight UFC championship of the world.
Yeah.
What's your walkout song?
Is it one of my own or is it somebody else?
I'm going with Cricchi, We Are Change, but you go with whatever you want.
Okay.
I'll go with yours for you.
Let me see. I'd probably go with the song I heard, and I'd probably go with the specific section of where I was like, I said, copped open, I hope my veins work. Suicidal, I wanted to die, but too much pride to put my pain first. And then like it kind of goes into a deep verse. But it's that song specifically is like rappy, punchy, kind of hypes me up. But it also has like some shit in it where like if I heard those words right before I got into a fight, it would instantly take me back to like the Cricchi that would destroy anything that I needed to.
Right.
Yeah, so that would probably be the jam.
Love it.
Yeah, if it was one of the newer songs, I'd probably be more like, all right, we're here. This is a fight. Like, you got to get in there and do this. But if I heard like one of my older shit, I'd be like, you fucking savage. Go rip his face off. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
it's just different vibes.
Right. Who are, how do I want to ask this question? Give me an artist that's a beast that most people wouldn't think is a beast that you listen to.
Man.
I'm gonna give you one.
Yeah.
You're gonna know
a reference.
You're gonna know he's a beast.
Yeah.
But most people don't realize what a beast he was. Joe Budden.
Yeah.
Did you ever listen to his first album?
Yeah, he's fire. Joe Budden is. He's got a guy. I wouldn't necessarily. I don't know if his. I don't think he's as good at talking as he is at rapping.
But people fuck with the talking.
I know, yeah, because he be talking that shit. Well,
right.
Not even that shit. He just be talking shit. Like
right.
he'll say how he feels. You know what I mean? And people can appreciate that. I can appreciate that.
His was the first podcast I ever listened to before I even knew what they were.
Oh no shit!
And it was. I think it was called "I'll Name This Podcast Later" or whatever. Like it wasn't what it is now.
Yeah.
By any stretch. And this is back when he was still rapping.
Yeah.
It was like Joe Budden TV and shit.
Yeah, bro, he's fire. Let me think. That people wouldn't really think is fire. Man, that's a hard question, dude. That's a hard question.
What rapper has the best catalog? Your opinion, as a fan.
Ooh,
top to bottom, best catalog. You want me to go first?
The first person that comes to mind is J. Cole, and I only say that because when has he ever missed lyrically? When have you ever played a J. Cole song and been like?
Well, we're talking about songs. I'm talking about a whole.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Whole body of work.
Have you ever played any J. Cole verse or song?
No, but he doesn't have. I mean, bro, you can't put his shit up against like Jay-Z. Jay-Z's fucking catalog as far as hits and everything?
Yeah, for sure. But like personal opinion.
Okay,
personal
J. Cole?
opinion.
All right.
Yeah, personal opinion. I'd probably he's definitely one of the ones that I would put up there.
Right.
NF too.
NF, good one.
NF's got some heaters.
Scarface.
Oh, that's a good one.
Scarface is one of the most complete catalog. Like, he doesn't have a whack album.
Yeah.
They're fucking.
I think Wayne would win when it comes to catalogs.
Who?
Lil Wayne. Like just hit song wise. Like, bro, think about it.
Yeah, I know.
That dude has had
endless
hits.
I was a sophomore in high school, and I think he had only had out The Block Is Hot. He might have had dropped his second one.
Yeah.
And I remember being on the bus on our way to a basketball game, and everybody was having this hip hop talk, and everyone was talking about who was going to be big, and I was like, yo, I'm telling you, Lil Wayne is going to be fucking huge.
Yeah.
And we were like, no, and then
bro,
motherfucker was huge.
Up. Yeah. There was a song that he had out on. You could get it on LimeWire, bro, but I still can't find it on like iTunes or anything. It was that like, I'll be here when they come for me and every single person that got love for me.
I gotta hear it.
Dude, it's a fire song.
Yeah.
Amazing song. But I literally found it on LimeWire when I was a kid. My homie Troy showed it to me. Rest in peace to him. And I haven't been able to find it since. Like, I had it when I was a kid. It was on like those mixtape CDs that I would burn, and I like literally cannot find that song. It's such a good song.
Oh, there's so many old songs from back in the day that if I sit there and started thinking of like my joints from like back then, I can bust out.
Yeah.
Dude, I can't thank you enough for taking the time to come on the show and everything, man. It was truly an honor. I look forward to whatever we got coming up, and putting out some dope shit and finding out some more stuff we could do.
Yeah, man. It's going to be fun, dude. Keep capitalizing.
100%. Now, I have a feeling I already know what you're going to go with for your answer. But
okay.
If you would be so kind, if you take a look into your camera, everybody's gotten to hear some of your story. They gotten to hear some of your experience. But if you would maybe throw out some I am statements to let them know who you truly are.
Yeah, man. Where are we at?
This one right here.
All right. So, I'm Cricchi. I'm an artist. I'm a dad, husband, entrepreneur. I do a lot of things. But more than anything, I think I just aim to help people sharing experience, sometimes not even strength and hope, sometimes just experience and feelings through music. And yeah, I just want the world to kind of find out, who I am and allow me to help anybody in any way that I can, man.
We will do it. We will do anything we can to make sure they know who you are, brother. Thank you for coming on.